The CXO Forum of the American Chamber of Commerce was held in Colombo today under the theme 75 Years and Beyond US-Sri Lankan Business Relations in 2024 under the patronage of US Ambassador in Colombo, Julie Chung.
We saw recently is the online safety bill. The Center for Policy Alternatives reported from a poll earlier this month that more than 70% of Sri Lankans were unaware of the bill before it passed. And when major global tech companies, including the Asia Internet Online Coalition, there's Google, Meta, Facebook, all those companies characterized the bill as, quote, unworkable, unquote, and something that would stifle innovation and democracy instead of actually addressing online crimes, which they say it's intended to do. This sends a negative signal, frankly, in Sri Lanka's path towards reform and recovery. Previous bills we have seen, such as the Personal Data Protection Act, took much longer to craft, but did a better job of taking stakeholder feedback into account. And that doesn't mean a one-way monologue of the government to companies or civil society or lawyers groups. It means an actual exchange and listening and taking that input and integrating it into the law. Now, to work on legislation and reforms that would be durable, enforceable, and wise, the Sri Lankan government will need to do better in the future. And this will be key to improving the business climate. And businesses, of course, shouldn't just sit back and wait for the government to act. The private sector, all of you, have such an important role to play. Business leaders, all of you in this room, you are not only purveyors of goods and services and profit, you're also community thought leaders. We see a resurgence of U.S. investment interest in Sri Lanka. We also see some companies in Sri Lanka who are making investments in the United States. And we all know that trade and investment is a two-way street. So we believe that these investments in the U.S., if wisely made, will lead to economic growth both in Sri Lanka and in the United States. Even as we see a resurgence of interest in the two-way investment, we also see challenges ahead that will require leadership. Now, both our countries, United States and Sri Lanka, will have elections this year. We need to do all we can to stabilize the business environment. As leaders, we need to think about both the medium and long term and how we need to create an environment that's conducive to trade, investment, and business expansion. One with transparent governance, where corruption is no longer tolerated. In the long term, we need to raise up a generation of leaders to take our place.